welcome back, everybody. I'll wait just 10 more seconds, but I'll already introduce Kodiak Copper. We have Claudia here today, which is the CEO of the company. She's also, I think, locally known in Germany. This is John Robbins' company from Discovery Group. It has also been founded by Chris Taylor, known now recently from the great story that's Great Bear. But today we talk about Kodiak in a copper gold discovery in a porphyry, and I'll leave the word now to Claudia. And hopefully at the end we can have a few questions from the audience. Claudia?
Thank you. Guten Morgen allerseits. Vielen Dank fürs Kommen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here. Kodiak is an exploration company focused on copper porphyries in North America. We were fortunate. We made a discovery at our MPD project in southern British Columbia. It's not a very long time ago, only 18 months. That was a real game changer for the company, transformative event. We were able to raise a larger sum of money and have since then, last 18 months, been very busy drilling, put in place a large exploration program last year, and we're very successful expanding on our discovery. And now this year we have an even larger drill program going on. So very exciting year and lots more discovery potential to be unlocked for our shareholders. Please keep in mind I'll be making forward-looking statements and consult the relevant guidance before making investment decisions. Now, first of all, I'd like to talk about the people behind the company. Chris Taylor, very, very importantly, the founder and chairman of Kodiak. Many of you, I'm sure, will know Chris from our sister company, Great Bear, which he also founded and made into a great success. He just sold the company earlier this year for 1.8 billion to Kinross, so a real great success for Chris. Chris is a geologist, very sort of out-of-the-box thinking, very creative geologist. And what he did with Great Bear, taking a project that lots of other people had looked at and then taking a new approach, trying something different, it's very much the same as what he did with Kodiak. Our MPD project is a similar story. I'll touch on that later. But Chris really is key to our success. I feel very fortunate working with him. At the end of the day, an exploration company is only as good as the geological smarts of the geologists who leads it. And Chris really is a fantastic geologist to work with. Myself, my background is more the business side. I've been now in commodities for over 20 years, worked for Rio Tinto for many years, and I'm an engineer, an MBA by training, and the MBA is sort of more what I then also did professionally. So most of my roles were things like business development, M&A, business evaluation. So I'm more the financial, commercial business side, and Chris and I were very complementary, I would say, in our skill sets. John Robbins is also a very important part of our team. He's an advisor and big shareholder. And John has put together the Discovery Group, of which we are part. Discovery is a loose alliance of companies, and it's a fantastic group of people and companies, and gives Kodiak real good access to whether it's technical expertise, capital market expertise, introductions. It's a really strong group, really credible group as well. And I feel very fortunate being part of Discovery and really believe it makes Kodiak a much stronger company than if we were just out there on our own. So that's the corporate side to Kodiak. I'll speak now more about our MPD project where we made the discovery. This is the map where MPD is located. We are in southern British Columbia, 3 hours drive from Vancouver. in an established mining area. There are two large mines, copper mines, to our south and north. You see there on the map, Copper Mountain, close geological analog, 35 kilometers to the south, and then Teck's big Highland Valley copper mine to our north. It's very much of a mining district. There are lots of other mines, exploration projects, etc. And it's also very accessible and very easy to work. It's not cold, it's not a lot of snow. The climate is very similar to what we have here, so you can work year-round. There are it's all the infrastructure you would need. We're off the highway and literally takes 5 minutes to drive to our project, and transmission line across the property, so great infrastructure, great place to work, which makes it very easy and cost-effective to explore. But looking also into the future, it will be a very big difference maker than, even more so than now. To build a mine in this location will be so much more easy and advantageous, and the economics will be so much better than if you did the same in a remote location. So this location was really one of the keys why we initially were interested in the project, and I can't highlight enough how fortunate we are to work where we are and how easy and cost-effective it is. NPD has been explored in the past, since the 60s, by a whole lot of different companies, and I'd like to highlight a couple of key points. First of all, the exploration was very much of a patchwork. There were always different companies at different points in time, always on smaller land packages. And we are now, for the first time, in a position that we have the consolidated package and can actually put a comprehensive, modern exploration strategy in place. And that was really the first step to create value, to be able to look at the big picture. Then, second point I'd like to highlight is that the historic exploration was over a very large area. So in total, you see these black dots, that's the historic holes, that's 14 square kilometers, so big footprint, and that's one of the other things that we really liked about the project. It does have size potential, it's big. And then most importantly, and that's really the key then also to our discovery, all of this historic drilling was shallow. If you do the math there, 50,000 meters, almost 400 holes, that's on average 120 meters per hole. And what we did was we drilled down to 800 meters. That was really where Chris Taylor took a view that all the historic drilling was too low to reach the high-grade zones. So we drilled to 800 meters and we made the discovery in the maiden drill program. It worked right away. This was our discovery hole, good 18 months ago now. And that was a transformative moment for the company. We saw a big jump in our share price from 50 cents to over $3. And we, at the time, then raised $12.7 million. Teck Resources came in as our largest shareholder, 9.9%. They invested $8 million. And that, again, was seen as a big positive by the market and led to more excitement because, obviously, Teck is a big company. They put in very early on quite a significant sum, and that was seen as a big seal of approval. They are major multinational. They're not interested in a small project. So the fact that they came in gave lots of investors lots of confidence. And they've been, ever since, a fantastic partner. So what did we drill? What created all the excitement? This is the high-grade discovery hole. It was more than half a kilometer of mineralization, 535 meters. And the grade of the overall intercept was 0.76% copper equivalent. And just to put that into perspective, the neighboring mine, Copper Mountain, the grade they mine is 0.23%. So what we drilled there was more than 3 times, or approximately 3 times, of what's mined next door. And that's, of course, very promising, and that's a good start. And yeah, we then raised $12.7 million and have been drilling ever since. This map shows our progress in the last 18 months. So on the left, you see the before. On the right, you see the after. I'd like to draw your attention to these red dotted lines on the maps. So when we started, we had, after the discovery hole and a couple more holes we drilled in 2020, we had about 125 meters of mineralization. So fast forward, 21,000 meters of drilling further, what you see on the right, we have now extended the mineralization to 1 kilometer north-south. It's about 350 meters east-west in width, and we've drilled mineralization down to 850 meters. So if you picture that, 1 kilometer, 850, 350, that's already quite some size. It's very encouraging. We definitely have a big porphyry center there. It's obviously still loosely defined, needs more drilling, but very, very encouraging that we're starting to see some real size here at the gate zone. So that's where we are now. And this year we have, again, a larger drill program going on. We started in March and have 2 drills going. We'll add a 3rd one in summer is the plan. And part of that work will be at the gate zone, partly on other targets. Now, let me talk first about the gate zone and what else there is to discover and how we take that forward. So you see again the dotted lines, which is the corridor where we have so far drilled mineralization. And in the background, you see geophysical data, conductivity, and the red, pink areas are conductors, and those conductors correspond very closely with the high-grade mineralization we drilled. So if you see where we are drilled now, sort of in the northern part of this corridor, where you see these sort of black concentric lines, that's where we found high-grade mineralization. And we've also drilled in the southern bit and found some high-grade. And we will now follow the conductor slightly to the east from where we have drilled now. And if you look at the picture, it becomes quite clear that so far we've only tested quite a small portion of this anomaly, only the top part and the bottom part. And so we will now follow it around this year. And it certainly looks that we've only done a small part of it, and there's still a lot more mineralization to be found and a lot more potential. So one drill for sure, we'll stay on the gate zone and we'll see how much bigger we can make it this year. And it's still very exciting to drill there. So we've started drilling there in March, and the next results will actually come out in June. So the first results from this year's drilling there. That should be quite exciting. And now, importantly, we will take the same approach we did at Gate that brought us a lot of discovery success and replicate this at other targets on the property. And that's where I'm most excited, because that's where the real upside is. We have the potential to make another gate zone-like discovery, and we have some targets that are even bigger than the gate zone. So there's really a lot of potential to make further discoveries. On this map, the little map on the left, you see our property map, and the little yellow star in the northwestern corner, that's the gate zone. That's where we have drilled so far. And the red stars on the property are also porphyry targets that have been drilled, have historic shallow drilling, but no deeper drilling. And so we'll do exactly what we did at the gate zone, and we will drill those deeper. The black picture at the bottom sort of illustrates a little bit what that looks like. On the left, you have the gate zone, and this dotted line that you see there, that's the depth of the historic drilling. So when we started, we only had what's above it, and drilled deeper, found much higher grade mineralization, quite a lot of it. And so we'll use the same approach at Man, Dillard, X. We have several of those targets on the property. We're hoping to test 3 or 4. We have started drilling Dillard, and about that target I'm particularly excited. We just had a month ago the first 2 results from there. Dillard is a huge target. It's 3 kilometers across compared to 1 kilometer for the gate zone, so it's 3 times the size. And we have our first 2 holes in there, which were better than all the historic holes. And we have traced down mineralization to 565 meters, so more than half a kilometer down already. And we had already some sniffs of higher grade mineralization. That's important. So we know mineralization goes to depth. We know there is some higher grade. So we'll be back there drilling, and it will be very exciting what we can find there. And if we have success, as I said, this is a very large target, so that would certainly be a big step forward for the project. And that's also, I think, where the most excitement is for our investors, because if we're successful and make more discoveries, that has the potential to generate just as much excitement as the original gate zone did. So that's Kodiak and the MPD project. Couple of words about our capital structure. Just key highlights. We are fully financed. We have 16 million in the treasury, so all the money we need for this year's work and well into next year. Very important in these markets today. We are a tightly held company, 56 million shares outstanding only. We have 1 analyst covering us, that's Corp. Their target price is $3.75. That's only based on the gate zone. That doesn't take into account any future discoveries. And at the bottom, our share price, that's where we got to so far. You see the big spike when we made the gate zone discovery. And our aim for this year is to generate more spikes with more discoveries. So that's Kodiak. If there are any questions, I'd be very happy to answer those either here or outside if we're out of time. I see the time flashing here. So thank you very much.